Hey, it's Sammy and Natalie here, and welcome to the Anxiety Compass, where anxiety isn't the enemy, it's our tour guide. We'll swap stories, share tools, and have a laugh while we find our way back to true north. Come along. What is the most annoying noise, Nat?
Oh, for me now or in the past when I had severe anxiety?
You're just overthinking the
Oh,
question.
oh, back when I had really bad anxiety, it was the all the noise in shopping centres because it was like a
Mm.
cacophony of just all these noises of trolleys clashing and music playing and people talking, and it was too, the chaos of that noise was just too much.
Yeah. Noise. It's just it. We've talked about a lot of things that trigger anxiety and the feelings of not feeling safe in that. And one of the things that we slightly have mentioned in past podcasts is the noise and
Mm.
how it can really be a sensitive thing and set our bodies off. And I know that when I'm feeling a little bit on edge, just being around a lot of noise or even just types of music or
Oh
even my
yeah,
dog licking himself can really trigger, since I know gross, hey, can trigger sensations in my body. And it was only just the other day where I said to myself, I need to turn all the noise off so that I can start recalibrating again in my body and switching that internal compass like back to my true north because the
yeah,
noise was just making it spin around in circles. And
yeah,
silence, even silence can trigger the nervous system in a positive way or a negative way, really. It really depends
absolutely.
on what's going on. So today
Yeah.
we're actually going to do, I'm hoping that we can do a smaller sort of episode for you. We'll see where this goes.
Yes.
But talking about why sometimes anxiety isn't just about thoughts, it's about things out in the environment that can trigger us, like smells and sounds. And we're going to really talk about sounds today and why our nervous system is getting oversensitive with there's so much noise out there. Have you ever been away from the city and realized just how noisy living in the suburbs near a city is? Like,
Absolutely. I used to live in the country and yeah,
yeah, it's
you
just
just that constant background drone of traffic going by and yeah, planes flying overhead, and it's just that there's a constant. Actually, I really noticed it during COVID when we went into that first lockdown. The entire world went into that lockdown and realized, wow, like the silence sounded so loud.
oh
It was
wow.
really interesting. It was like, because you don't even notice, I don't notice hear the trains going past, which is, one block down, or the background noise. I live close to a main road. But when the silence was like, and our cities are really noisy.
They are. And I also notice, like, for me, it's also the opposite when everything goes quiet. I'm sort of one with my thoughts, and that can be quite scary too, depending on where you are with your
Can
nervous.
be. Yeah,
So
exactly.
when it comes to sort of looking at our nervous system and anxiety, we've mentioned before, nervous anxiety is sort of control and making sure that everything is safe, and it's
Safe.
a constant need for safety. And so our body is constantly scanning the environment for anything that can be triggering. And sometimes a loud noise or even someone who's yelling in a house can be so triggering, and cause
Very.
your body to all of a sudden think there's a danger and your whole nervous system goes into overdrive.
Yeah,
And
go
if
straight into fight or flight.
exactly, and if you're overly sensitive from being exposed to something traumatic as a child, for example, being around a parent that's constantly yelling, your nervous system set, like the thermostat set pretty high for loud noises and things that trigger you all of a sudden. Do you like, does your nervous system, maybe not so much now, but did it used to go into overdrive if someone was like yelling near you?
Yeah, 100%. Look, and I still do. I not to the degree it used to, but if I hear someone yelling, instantly my anxiety just goes through the roof.
Yeah.
And I literally brace myself, and then I'm listening out, trying to hear what they're saying, even if it's a
Mm.
neighbor 2 doors down.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's just that automatic response. And then I've got to remind myself, hang on, I'm safe. This
Yeah.
is not, and I do some breathing. But yeah, it's an automatic response.
Yeah. And when we're hyper aware, which like if you having panic attacks or you're already anxious, your body's in overdrive, listening out for sounds. So as you were saying before, going into busy restaurants or shopping centers can be so overwhelming. Like I know when I was at the peak of feeling anxious and everything was just setting me off, being at a party was a no-go zone. It wasn't just the crowds, it was the buzzing of people talking and
Mm,
your body's going, what's safe, what's safe, what's safe? And it's just listening to the man shaking the cocktail behind the bar or the scanny noise at the entry door or someone laughing really loudly. Your body just goes, oh, what's that? What's that? And
yeah.
it can be really unsettling, or even just like being in traffic, the noises around cars tooting and it is.
Absolutely. I used to have that was used to be a huge trigger. I think I've mentioned in an earlier episode when I was at the height, and it was over a decade of living this way. But if I was in the car traveling with my husband, because I couldn't drive because of my anxiety disorder was so bad, um, he would have to give me a heads up saying a motorbike is about to overtake us or a car or something is about to overtake us. This is, if we were
Yep,
out driving on the highways. Because if just even that sudden sound of a car rushing past or a motorbike, because they're loud, I would literally scream and then go into a panic attack.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you're already like right
I
up.
was that hyper vigilant already,
Yeah, I
and
find
then
that
it would set me
interesting.
off.
Yeah, yeah. And as we were saying, the other end, your thoughts get louder when it's quiet, overthinking increases. Like at night when it's quiet, I have what's it called? Tinnitus, and I start
Tinnitus, yeah.
to focus on that more, which causes, oh my God, there's something wrong with my ears. What's this? It's the alarm
Absolutely.
noise.
I mean,
Um,
I talk a lot about meditation. When I was at the height of my anxiety and panic disorder, when I had CPTSD, I actually couldn't meditate because as
mm,
soon as I became quiet and tried to go in, I would literally set off a panic attack. It was actually the noise of the anxiety was too loud itself. So even in silence,
it was
it was
there.
loud.
Yep.
Mm,
Yeah. Oh, and the feeling like I also find like either way, whichever way you want to go, whether you're in deep silence and it's quite scary because you're with your thoughts, or whether you're in a room with very, very loud, it has such an impact on your mood as well
mood.
and energy levels. So I felt
Yeah.
like some people will go into a room that's full of like, even if you go to like a gym or a hit class or something, and the music's like boom, boom, boom,
Oh,
it really depends on your nervous system, how it can handle it. So if you've got a lot going on in your life and you're dealing with a lot, that can just push you over the
push
edge.
you. Yeah.
Or the opposite. So really listening to your body and knowing what it needs, whether it needs silence. So for me at the moment, I have so many plates going on with business, work, health, everything that when I'm in the car, I don't want to listen to people talking or music. I just want to listen to classical violin. I've actually been listening to, do you watch Bridgerton? I,
No,
they've,
I don't.
well, they play a lot of like, like violin sort of string quartets, but they play current sort of music in that sort of. So I don't know if you've ever watched K-pop Demon Hunters. They had that Golden song, which was huge in the charts. There's a
Yep.
song that I found that's done with string quartet that plays it.
Yeah.
You know, because if you start to listen to your body, you know how it's going to react. So all of a sudden you feel this sort of calming sensation as opposed to listening to a podcast where they're talking like this and maybe this is triggering you right now. And then
Yeah.
you switch that frequency and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I feel so at ease right now. Whereas,
Classical music is a huge one. I listen to it um, a lot. Even as I started to get better and understood, if I slipped back into anxiety and or depression, instantly I'd go and put on some classical music. I often listen to classical music in the car.
yep,
I mean, there's studies show that classical music actually has a direct effect. It improves depression and anxiety.
it's used
Like,
in sound therapy. Like they actually
yeah,
use it
literally,
in sound
yeah.
therapy. Yeah.
But I often, in the car, I will often drive in just silence. If like driving home from work, if I've had a big day and I've just had people talking all day, or if I've been to a party or something, a gathering, I just enjoy just the complete silence. Enjoy the
Oh,
silence by Depeche Mode. Best song.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I love that. I used to
Yeah.
have an app, like I used to use like the Calm apps in your Headspace, and they have specific like white noises and whales
Mm.
and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of the time it actually really helped because for me at one point I did not like silence because it would trigger the tinnitus in my ears and then I'd overthink things and I just get uncomfortable. And so having a slight background noise for me really helped, like the white noise, except for
The
when my
white
husband
noise.
in
Yeah.
and he's like, what's that static noise? What's this? He used to make me go to sleep to heavy metal music. I mean, that for me is my whole nervous
Yes.
was like,
Oh,
"Ah."
yeah. No.
Yeah,
But it's funny what you
definitely.
use as white noise. My sister, she was really unwell when she was little. And so she was often home from school. And mum would always be vacuuming. And Deb actually found, my sister found that that was for her, and it still is, a really calming sound.
The
Because to
vacuum.
her, it's white noise. To me, it's like, it actually sets my nervous system off. You know, but she found, finds it, that's her white noise. So it
Oh,
doesn't even have to be white noise, something that is repetitive that you find.
pretty nostalgic sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing about repetition is I use it a lot in my meditation classes. I will use the same piece of music all the time.
Yeah.
So if you've got a piece of music, no matter what it is, probably not, maybe not heavy metal, but whatever it is, but play it on repeat or have that as your go-to sound
Mm.
because you're then retraining your nervous system. As soon as you hear the first bar, your nervous system starts to recognize it. Calm.
I love that. You know, when my kids
Mm.
were little, I used to play, it was called Celtic or Celtic, however you want to say
I
it.
love Celtic music.
Oh my gosh. And it was there was one track that had like a pan flute or something on it. It had like a Japanese vibe to it. I don't know why it was on there. But I found the album like 10 years later and I played it in the car because my mum used to live with us when the kids were little growing up. And my mum's whole nervous system just relaxed because it took her straight, because it's funny how sounds can take us straight. It's like smells, they can take you straight to a
Yep.
place. And she's like, oh my gosh, she used to play this every night when the boys were getting in their jammies and you'd read them a book and put them to bed and just listening to that. And like, this is probably why I love Outlander so much. It's like all of that
Mm.
Scottish bagpipes and all that. It just sends this wave of calm and looking out at the
Yep.
green sparse
Yes.
spaces and
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a double CD from, it was a BBC like show or documentary or something. It was on decades ago, but it was a whole Celtic thing. And the music from that is just
oh, I love
stunning.
it.
It's
It
just
sets my
so
soul.
inspirational and big emotions. And it's just so
Yeah,
lovely.
sets my soul on fire. And the same with
Yep.
that certain like depending on what level of anxiety I'm feeling, but dance music, like listening like Gloria
Oh,
Estefan
absolutely.
and
Yeah,
doing the
if I
chest
need a pick
part
me
and
up and I
yeah.
need to move the anxiety or stress, whatever, out of my body, yep, I'll put on a good dance track, good pop song,
I think it's
dance
listen
around.
comes back to listening to your body because sometimes it can be triggering. It really depends on how you because your body is constantly talking to you, right? We say that in nearly every episode.
Yep.
When you play something, like I know sometimes if I get in the car and a podcast starts and people are talking, it can be so jarring to my nervous system. I have to.
Mm,
Whereas other times I'm like, oh, give me that information. I really want to listen to that. I'm in the right frame of mind, right?
yep.
Um, but one thing that I do love is nature sounds. And for me, getting up and walking and listening to my favorite bird, musical bird, is the magpie. And I know people are terrified of magpies, but they just have the most beautiful song. I think
They do.
they play like four different tunes out of there, four or
Yep.
five. And I just think like that just is just I don't know, it must be sort of like a something that's passed on through generation and generation. Like when you are in the calm forest and you can hear the birds chirping, that signals safety, right?
Yeah.
because the birds are quiet and they're gone. Something's in the
Exactly.
forest and it's not good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They've taken off because there's something going
Especially,
on.
well, there's science behind it. When you listen
Yeah.
to bird, like if you play there's birdsong radio and you put that through your house, it
Yeah.
can completely bring down your nervous system like to a level of so much calm just from listening
Yep.
to birds singing a lovely little song.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know, I agree. I was sitting out in the park yesterday, and Maggie came and stood right in front of me and just started singing to me. And I just sat there watching him, and then I turned around and said, "Thank you so much. That was so pretty.
Uh,
It was
yeah,
so
I talk to the
lovely."
birds. I'm like, oh, look, Midas, this bird's come to follow us.
Yes.
And yeah, some of the birds are triggering, like a
Oh,
cockatoo
like your minor
is
birds.
like, they're very smart birds. Don't get me wrong, I love them,
Yeah.
but they've
Yes.
not got a very nice talk. They're very
No.
scratchy. But
Yeah. It's
with your meditation and doing all the breath work and that you do, because you know this is your expertise, do you
yeah.
find like I've done a few classes where they get you to really listen to the sound of your breath and the rhythm of your
Yeah.
breathing? Do you find that that is another great sound? Like I've done classes
Absolutely.
that have to be quite loud, and you listen to that and sensation and feeling, and it's supposed to
Yeah.
calm your nervous system. Is that
There's
a thing?
another, yeah, there's another really great one in pranayama where you actually block your ears so that you can listen to your breath internally. It's almost got that same, it's the same sort of connotation of, when you put a seashell up to your ear,
And you
and
can
it's
hear the
got that sound. It's very calming. So yeah, listening to our breath is incredibly calming to our nervous system, even
mm,
when it's dysregulated. So even if you've got anxiety or you're having a panic attack, just being able to block your ears, go somewhere, just close your ears down and just start listening to your breath. It will start to calm it down. It'll start to slow your breath down.
oh, I love
It's a really
that.
lovely little tool to
On
use.
a Sunday, there was a meditation sort of yin yoga class that I used to go to, and we did the breath work. But one of the elements that she started adding in was at the end, we would all
Yep.
hum, and have that
Yep.
vagus nerve
That
sort of
vibration.
vibration. And I noticed that there's a lot of monks in that they do a lot of chanting, however you want to say it, and the humming and the
Yep.
vibrations.
The
So,
vibration. Well, I mean, the om sound.
om.
I mean, a lot of people think it's funny and it's, oh, it's so such a woo-woo thing, but it's
Oh, it's
literally
calming.
mimicking, well, it's the sound of the universe. It's
Ah,
the frequency of the universe. That's why it's been used for centuries.
I
And that's
love
why even mantras, if you use a
class.
mantra, and that's why even in our chakras, every single chakra has a different sound
Oh,
to
that's so
it.
great.
Yeah.
You can, like, I've looked online, and, you know, as you get older, you start to look at different ways to heal and more. I just
Mm.
like I need more slow. Like, I was talking to a friend, we went for a walk the other night, and we were saying, like, as much as fun it is to go out for dinner and have a drink and that, I'm all about, going for a morning walk and doing some stretching and maybe going having some high tea with a scone with jam and cream and listening to classical music. Like, you
Yep.
start to really tune into what your body wants.
You
And
do.
I've realized there's so many really great classes out there, like that I would never have really looked at, like chanting circles that you can join, and like I would have laughed at things like that back when I was 20, but now it's like, wow,
So
like
would I. Yeah.
this is actually
Exactly.
quite therapeutic and
Yeah. I've
helpful.
actually got a 7 week chakra course coming up in my membership. And
Ah,
part of that will be, the sounds of every chakra. So practicing that for the whole week to regulate our nervous system and to just regulate each chakra as well. So it's going to be a lot
I
of fun.
love that
Mm,
because, like, when I do the chanting and the rhythm, and you do it in a group, you can feel that collective energy build up,
you
which is
really can.
it's just amazing. And your nervous system actually really loves rhythm and flow, and that sort of brings that back in with the sound, the power of sound and music and vibrations. So,
Yeah.
um, I interviewed years ago on my old podcast from my old business. I interviewed a lady who was a sound therapist, and she
Mm,
actually got people to listen to the sounds and the hums and the vibrations of whales talking to each other under the ocean. And I just thought, she used the whale sound to actually heal people who were suffering with like really bad tinnitus in their ears and that. And
Yeah.
it was the humming sensation that she heard from other animals. Like it was a nature-based healing.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah, no,
results.
whale sounds are known to be for how they're, I can't even talk, how healing their sound is.
Do you
Absolutely.
speak whale? Can you speak whale?
No, and
I'm
I'm not
speaking.
going to try now.
Oh, you know something. Ah, that's funny. So the one of the key things is awareness. That knowing when something's triggering you, like when you walk into a room, knowing what sounds are triggering you and whatnot, and listening to your body and sort of steering it to what it needs right now. And this is something
Yeah.
I'm really teaching myself the last few days. Sometimes I need to leave the room because my son, he runs around the house going pshoo, pshoo, pshoo. And then the other one's yelling at him, and then my husband's playing guitar, and it's just, and then
Oh,
my
wow.
barking, everything going. And I'm just so overwhelmed that I'm going to snap. And it's not their fault. It's my nervous system's not regulating this very well. And so I grab Midas and I go for a walk. And just that 20 minutes outside of the house, I come back and I'm a different person. I can handle the sound
Yeah.
of better.
And that's a really important thing. Don't be afraid to remove yourself even briefly. Like I
Yeah.
remember when I was, when I had anxiety disorder and I'd be at my parents' house like for Christmas or Easter or something, and so the whole family was there. And it was only my immediate family, so my sister, my brother-in-law, my husband, mum and dad. But even still just sitting around the table, everyone talking was often too much. So I would just excuse myself in the middle of the meal, and I would just get up, leave the room, go and sit there for 5 minutes, just regulate my own nervous system, then come back.
Yeah.
And if you explain to people, if that's something that you feel like you should do, explain to people, explain to your family
Yeah.
beforehand. Just say, listen, I'm trying to manage my anxiety better. If I need to get up and leave for the table, I'm fine. I just need to go off and just for 5 minutes, just to breathe and reground myself before I come back. It's better than sitting there and suffering in silence and slowly
Yeah.
getting internally worse and worse and worse.
Then
And
snapping.
then, you go home later and you fall in a heap because you're just so exhausted from trying to hold yourself together.
I
So,
totally agree. I totally
mm,
agree. And I find like in today's modern world, like you got to think back, what, a couple thousand years ago, there was not much noise out there. There is
no.
so much noise today. Like even just people on their phones, listening to things, clicking, phones, notifications, everything is just so triggering for so many of us. So having that awareness of when it's too much to allow yourself, like Nat was saying, to allow yourself to walk out of the room or just even let people know that this is too much. I'm trying to have a conversation with someone and there's about 20 conversations happening at the one table. I can't concentrate and I'm going to have to leave the room and bring the conversation outside under the tree with this particular person. Like
Exactly.
there's so many
Yep.
things I can suggest.
Yep.
Yeah, so your nervous system is always listening. Sometimes anxiety isn't is simply your body asking for a different environment and it wants to be removed or it wants just a few things in the area to change to make it feel safer, to make it feel more rhythm and in flow and to stop that compass inside going crazy because it doesn't.
Yep. Spinning. Wee.
Yeah.
Trying to find the north.
Yes, we need some bird songs and some Celtic music. Please play
Well,
it in the
yes.
background. Yeah, yeah. Let's jump in and throw in a reflective question before we shut this episode down. Oh, sounds like it. Shutting it down. Um,
Shutting it down.
I'm shutting it down. So, as you're driving or whatever it is you may be doing, I'd love for you to ask yourself, is there something that's triggering you right now? Like, can you hear a noise? If you're feeling agitated, maybe it isn't your thoughts and this and thinking about what's happening in your life, but maybe there's something like a noise or a sensation that's triggering you even more, and maybe turning us off and putting
Yeah.
on some classical music or Celtic music or something that your body absolutely loves. Like even just listening to the lawnmower outside is bringing me back to summers from when I was a little kid. And I know some people don't like the sound of a lawnmower, like my husband. It reminds him that he needs to mow the lawn. But
Yeah.
it actually makes me go into a place of happiness. So finding out what sounds your body loves to make it feel whole again and in
Oh, yeah, regulated,
regular.
calm.
Amazing. Well, did you want to
Yes.
add anything else to this, or are we happy to wrap up the
No,
episode?
I think we've covered it quite well.
Amazing. I love it.
Amazing.
All right.
Yes.
Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you in the next
Yes, you
episode.
too. See you.
Thanks for joining us on the Anxiety Compass. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend who needs a little laugh and a lot of calm. We'll see you in the next one. Keep following your true north. Disclaimer time. Sammy and Natalie may be clinical nutritionists, but we're not your personal doctors. What you hear is for learning and laughing, not diagnosing or prescribing. If things feel bigger than you, call your doctor or local support line or reach out to a qualified health professional. They've got your back too.